Friends, Sairam, this is Megha Miss here, and today we will continue with our lesson number 14, Substances in Common Use. This is our session 6 student. Okay, now till now we have studied many things in this chapter. Last presentation students, we studied about the artificial colors. If you remember, we saw that how they are dangerous for our health, right, during the Rang Panchami and all, whatever the colors we use. Then we have seen about the next topic we studied was the deodorant. Okay, that yes, deodorant in adolescents, this deodorant uses more, right? And we have seen the different 3 types of deodorants also. And the last topic we saw about the Teflon, that yes, Teflon we are using for durability of the utensils and all increases, we can use the Teflon coated utensils for cooking the food. Okay, so we'll proceed with the chapter students. The next topic we are studying, that is the powder coating. Now the powder coating is a method of applying a layer harder than paint, okay, on the surface of an iron object to prevent rusting. Now what is rusting students? You already know. Okay, so powder coating is a method to prevent the iron objects from getting rusting. Okay, in this method a polymer resin, a pigment and some other ingredients are mixed, cooled and ground into a uniform powder. Okay, small powder particles they are made. Okay, this powder is spread on the polished method, okay, on the polished metal surface by electrostatic spray deposition. What is the method student? Electrostatic spray deposition. Okay, in this method the particles of the powder are given an electrostatic charge, due to which a uniform layer of the powder sticks to the metal surface. Okay students, so this is a small description of that method. So which is that technique we are using? Electrostatic spray deposition. And what is done in this students? The particles of the powder, they are given an electrostatic charge. Okay, they are charged, and because of this charge, what will happen? They will get spread out uniformly on the metal surface. Okay, so then the object is heated in the oven. Okay, then the object it is heated in the oven over, okay, along with the coating. Okay, so then the object it is heated in that oven along with the coating what we have done of the powder. A chemical reaction occurs in the layer, resulting in the formation of a long cross-linked polymeric chains. Okay, so polymer chain is formed which are cross-linked, they are linked together like this, because a chemical reaction will occur in the layer which we have applied, and they will lead into the formation of a polymeric chain. This powder coating is highly durable, hard and attractive to look. Okay, powder coating can be done on plastic and medium density fiber, that is MDF board in day-to-day use as well. So we can use this powder coating in day-to-day life also, we can use it, especially we are doing it on the plastic and also on the medium density fiber. Okay students, so see, this is the way how the powder coating is done. Okay, so that on that particular the person, you can see he has that machine, and see the powder it will get uniformly spread on the surface of that particular whatever the substance we are having. Okay, now this is the oven, industrial oven. In this, that particular now the big sizes ovens are also there. Now this you can see here, in this the article is then heated, whatever we have coated. Okay, now next we are going to see, that is anodizing. Okay, now what is this anodizing? A protective layer is formed naturally on the surface of the aluminium metal by the reaction with oxygen in air. Okay students, so what is done? A protective layer is formed naturally, okay, on the surface of the aluminium metal by reaction with oxygen in air. In the anodizing process, this layer can be made of the desired thickness. Okay, to increase the thickness, naturally it happens, but to increase the thickness of that layer, what we can use? We can use this process of anodizing students. Okay, anodizing is done by electrolysis. Now all of you know electrolysis of water. Yes, you have studied it. So like that, anodizing is a electrolysis process, means the electrical connections you are going to use, cathode anode will be there. Okay, dilute acid is taken in the electrolytic cell and the aluminium article is dipped in, okay, and it acts as the anode. So aluminium article is dipped in it as the anode, okay. When an electric current is passed, hydrogen gas is released at the cathode and oxygen gas will be released at the anode, okay students, after when the current electricity will be passed, okay. So a reaction with oxygen occurs and a layer of hydrated aluminium oxide is formed on the anode. You know, anode is your aluminium only, okay. On that goes and deposition of oxygen takes place. So what is formed, students? A hydrated aluminium oxide is forming, okay. That is the iron article. So the reaction with oxygen occurs and a layer of hydrated aluminium oxide is formed on the anode, that is the iron article. This layer can be made attractive by adding colors in the cell during electrolysis. So if I go on adding different colors, my particular whatever the article I want to get polished, what will happen? I not polish, I will say apply the layer, I'll get that colored layer, okay. We use anodized cooking utensils like griddles, okay, we are using it, and cookers. So different types of whatever the colorful griddles and cookers what you see, it is nothing but the process of anodizing, okay students. I hope it is clear to you. Okay, we'll proceed. Ceramic. Now the next part we are going to see, students, that is the ceramics. Now the ceramic is a heat resistant substance formed by kneading an inorganic substance in water and then shaping it and hardening it by heating. So what is ceramic, student? It is a heat resistant substance formed by kneading an inorganic substance in water, means a mixture of this, and then shaping it and then hardening it by heating it, okay. Pots made by a potter, Mangalore roofing tiles, construction bricks, pottery, terracotta articles are some examples of common ceramic articles that we see around. Okay students, again I'll repeat. Pots made by a potter, Mangalore roofing tiles, construction bricks, pottery, terracotta articles are some examples of common ceramic articles that we see around. Okay. Now, these are the ceramic articles. You must be having, some of you must be having at your home also, might be. Okay. So, these are decorative articles which we keep at home to decorate our house. Okay. Now, next part we are seeing the porcelain under the ceramic. Okay. This is a hard, translucent and white colored ceramic. Okay student. It is made by using the white clay called kaolin found in China. Glass, granite and the mineral feldspar is mixed with kaolin and kneaded with water. Okay student. The resulting mixture is shaped and fired in a kiln at a temperature of 1200 to 1450 degrees Celsius. So this much is the process, student. Okay. On firing again, after glazing, beautiful articles of porcelain are obtained. Okay. So you will remember all the process what we have seen now. And main thing, it is a hard, translucent and white colored ceramic. Okay, now one of the porcelain dishes you have seen in the laboratories, we use the China dish, right? It is nothing but the porcelain. Okay, so see, this is the China dish which we use in the laboratories. You must have seen in our labs, right? So this is nothing but this is a type of a ceramic which we called it as the porcelain. Okay students, I hope it is clear till here. Okay, we'll proceed. Now, bone china. So the bone china is made by adding some ash of animal bones in the mixture of china clay, feldspar and fine silica while making porcelain. Okay, so while making the porcelain, if I add some ash of animal bone, it becomes bone china. This ceramic is harder than porcelain. Okay, if you see the hardness, bone china is more harder as compared to the porcelain. Okay students, I hope it is clear till here. Okay, so see here, this is the dish. You can see a very beautiful colorful dish which is nothing but it is made from the bone china. Okay, so like this, different colors, of course this can be done by anodizing and all, whatever the process we have seen, adding colors and all, different layer of the things can be formed on that plate, different colors can be given by the different process can be used. Okay, but the main thing, the main whatever it contains is the bone china. Okay student, so I hope you have understood this process also. Okay, so next we are seeing students, that is the advanced ceramics. Now what is this advanced ceramics? Oxides like alumina, that is Al2O3, important to remember both, alumina plus Al2O3, both you will remember. Zirconia, ZrO2, silica, SiO2, and some other compounds like silicon carbide, SiC. Now Si is the symbol for silicon, okay, and carbide is C, okay. Here carbon, means here it has become carbide, okay. C we write for carbon, okay, but here the silicon carbide, the formula is SiC, okay. Boron carbide, that is B4C, are used instead of clay for making advanced ceramics. So instead of clay, students, we can use all these compounds, okay. This ceramic requires a temperature of 1600 to 1800 degrees Celsius and an oxygen free atmosphere for firing, okay, means while heating it does not need oxygen. This process is called sintering, okay. So this ceramics, it will require a temperature of, students see how much high temperature, 1600 to 1800 degrees Celsius, and it should be oxygen free atmosphere, okay, and the process we called it as the sintering, okay. Remember process name, okay. Now ceramics can withstand high temperatures without decomposing, means because without breaking down, okay, into its substances, okay. It can, what you can say, it can withstand, okay, that much temperatures. So ceramic is brittle, water resistant, and an electrical insulator. Important student, it should not be an electrical conductor. So ceramic, it is brittle, it can break, but it is water resistant and it is an electrical insulator. Therefore it is used in the electrical instruments for coating the interior of a kiln and, okay, and the outer surfaces of ships and blades of jet engines, okay. So it is used in the kiln, the outer surfaces of ships and blades of the jet engines, okay. You will remember the use of the ceramics here, okay, advanced ceramics. Then a certain type of a ceramic tiles are fixed on the outer layer of a space shuttle. Some types of ceramics are used as superconductors, okay. So certain types of the ceramic tiles are used, okay, to make the outer layer of the space shuttles, and some types of ceramics we are also using in the superconductors, okay students. I hope this part is clear to you, okay, advanced ceramics, okay students. So we have come to the end of the today's presentation, students. So today we studied about, if you saw properly, then we seen about the powder coating, okay. We have seen the process, how the person was doing, we have seen a picture also, okay. Then we have seen anodizing, again aluminium, how the aluminium oxide, hydrated aluminium oxide is formed, hydrogen gas is formed at the cathode, and all the process we have seen. It is nothing but anodizing is the electrolysis process. We are using the electrolysis process in the anodizing, okay. Then we have seen about the ceramic, that first one we saw the porcelain, we have seen the china dish and all, where the day to day you have seen in the lab about the china dish, you have seen it, okay. So we are using porcelain, right. And then we have seen the bone china. If you are using such plates, I have shown the picture, if you are using such plates and all at home, yes, it is the bone china which we are using, okay. And we saw about the advanced ceramics. Yes, we can use, instead of clay, we can use many of the silicon oxides and all, many options you have, you can use that. And yes, only one thing, they are brittle, ceramic, advanced ceramic, they are brittle, but you know they are water resistant. And next, they are the bad conductors of electricity, so we are using it in the electrical equipments. Okay student, so I hope whatever we did in the today's presentation you have understood, you will go through it properly. Okay, here we complete with the lesson also students. Okay, this is the last part of our lesson, we have completed with the lesson also. Okay, I hope whatever we studied all through in this lesson, you have seen all these. This is the 6th presentation, so all 6 presentation I hope you have seen, and you will whatever the things I told you to make a note of it, you will do it. As I told you before also, in the answer, at least for the 2 marks, I will say 4 points are expected, half of mark each. So keep an habit, wherever 2 mark answer, same board pattern is there, give reasons and all, at least 4 points you should make and write. Okay, it is considered as half of mark each. So I hope today's part will be clear when you see it. Okay, theoretical, as I told you, it is a theory base, you have to learn. Okay student, this chapter particularly learning and writing practice is important, correct, for the spellings and all. Okay, so next presentation we'll meet with a new lesson. Okay students, so I'll take a leave today. For today I'll stop it here. Okay, so thank you. Sai Ram, take care.